we get more. When 5, 7 meet, we get this thing. So when we meet, we must all be grateful that a group of people, they didn't know us from Adam, but they got together and kicked the doors open so that the knowledge and the secrets will go out and everybody, we too can have it. And if we have it, use it to advantage. Anybody got any question? Yes?
Yes, Bob. Yeah, you mentioned colour. I just wanted to sort of see how you approach things, you know, like you mentioned colour. So I'm wondering, can you, obviously colours give off vibration, and you read the moods of that, can you do things like that?
Listen, everybody has got his favorite color, one. And then certain things, in magic rituals, certain things goes. Red is for mass, violet is for another thing, blue is water, and that kind of thing. Whatever you are going to do, a certain color should come. Yeah?
Okay.
We are not in ceremonial magic now, so we can't talk about that. But, yeah, everything has got this thing.
Okay.
But you know, in the Golden Dawn and magic and this thing, that's a field I would like to answer questions on.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's just I'm surprised at the question I asked you that, you know, you come and tell me that is ceremonial magic. You understand?
Oh no, I was color. When, the red reminded me because I said the tarot cards, the numbers, and I didn't mention color because when it comes to the chakra is another thing. You have the color, 7 the rainbow colors, all down here.
Oh, you come to that now, the aura thing. So then we all got these colors around us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you read things like that?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You learn it.
Okay.
You study it. There are books and everything, and your guru will tell you. There are exercises you do that will. He was telling you.
Yeah. No, I just got one taken the other day, you see. So that's why, you know, you mentioned color, so.
Oh yeah, there are this thing. There are some people who can read it. You study it.
Okay.
You study and then you can see. And then they have glasses. They are goggles you can wear and see the what do you call the color around is 7 and it goes like that. Yeah. Anything else? Yes.
I'm just interested in you saying that the Golden Dawn was responsible for the mass production of the Bible. Is that what you're actually
they encourage people to read the Bible, and with that encouragement, the printers found a market. They found a way to print more. You see, they printed more, and then they have to print it cheaper. So everywhere, and then the Revelations and other things. They were quoting the Bible in bits and pieces to suit their interests. You see, but instead of using those particular this way, you have the whole Bible and you sit down and read it. Oh, if I wasn't reading the Bible, I would never know that Moses was an Egyptian. I won't know that Moses married a black woman, married an Ethiopian. And those who have Bible, look at the Numbers chapter 12, and you see Moses married an Ethiopian. And Joshua and Miriam were so mad about it that God got annoyed and smote Miriam with leprosy. And Moses went and begged before God relented. That was the first record of racial discrimination in the whole world, and nobody has ever brought it up. And then there were a lot of, and where Jesus was born, there were brown people over there, and when they draw him white. And when they showed the 10 commandments, my daughter, she was then about 10. She couldn't have a sleep. She didn't sleep at all. Said, why? He said, why didn't they get Muhammad Ali or Harry Belafonte to play Moses? Because Moses wasn't a white man. I said, when you go ask your teacher. So she went to school and he asked, Miss, Why didn't they get Muhammad Ali and Ali Belafonte to act Moses? After all, Moses was a brown man. They called a staff meeting. See if any of the teachers knew the answer. And he said, where did you learn it? He said, my dad teaches African history. That's why I know. So, my daughter knows, and from then on, the teachers knew that Moses was an African. And there are people, like that stupid man in Harrods. He says he's an Egyptian, but he's not an African. Where is Egypt? You see, we live in a very queer world. And we don't, if you don't say it, nobody will say it for you. And we have become so, submissive, and we take things for granted. Somebody called me a black bastard. I said, hallelujah. He said, why? I said, you're so stupid. There are no bastards in Africa. We have only See, honestly, in that woman, and Benin, the women marry the men. Come and see you, say, Jack, I like your hair. And he will take you, the woman will take you. I said, I like your beard. The woman can marry 3-4 men. It is in the dictionary, polyandry. So if the woman can marry 3 and 4, how can I become a bastard? Show them how stupid. Anybody else can be what we call a bastard, but not in Africa, where I come from. There's somebody in Nigeria who's got how many? 24 wives. Yeah.
There's lots of them.
Oh yeah, and he hasn't finished yet. Yes.
If you wanted to be a part of the Golden Dawn, how would you go about it?
I've got some addresses. I'll leave them with you. There is the builders of the auditorium in America. They become commercialized, so I won't advise anybody. There is one. Yes, I was a member until some crooks took it over and they made it into a money-making machine. They get so much money from you and they send you lessons. They got money from you and send you lessons. And when we did, it wasn't like that. And I've got the authentic thing. Anybody who wants the real Golden Dawn, I've got their record and everything intact. But if you want to get the English one, they are in the Isle of Man, Dolores. I've got the address over there, and I've got 1 or 2 of their lessons. I will show you. But anybody who wants to join the Golden Dawn, I will advise you to take the magic course with Lisbeth St. George. It only costs £15. And if you give the money, I will see her. She has to stand guard for me to be here to talk about the Golden Dawn, an organization of which I'm not a member. And so I need their guidance, 1, 2, 3, 4, before I can talk about that organization. You can't go anywhere and extol the virtues or criticize an organization of which you are not a member. You have to ask permission from the denizens. And I got it 4 o'clock. Between 3 and 4, I was on the phone to her. Do I get it? She said, yeah. So they'll be here until 12 midnight. Then my cover is finished.
Psychic insurance.
Yes, psychic insurance. Oh, you mentioned something. In this blessed world, there's a body called the brotherhood. And some people have called it white brotherhood. There's nothing white about it. The only thing is that they are angels and they are spirits. They are like this. You know, if you buy hi-fi, that kind of thing, there's some cushion that goes with it. That's how they look like. It's like that. So they are called the white brotherhood. There are Asians in it. There are blacks in it. There are Europeans in it. What they do, there's something we call occult police. They police the whole universe and make sure that those who are stupid enough to play with fire don't get burnt. And you'll be surprised the number of people who try to do stupid things. Read books, go to cemeteries, go to rivers and, try to invoke and that kind of thing. They are there to protect you up to a certain point. And they are called the white brotherhood. But they are not, there's nothing white about them at all. They just call the white brotherhood because of this. I've got a book that tells about them. And you'll find in so many areas of this world, somebody gets stranded somewhere, and out of the blue, somebody comes in and he helps you, and he said, fine, thank you. There's nobody there. They are gone. They come from the brotherhood. I don't like calling them the white, I call them the brotherhood. Leave the white. But you know that everywhere you go, you've got your guardian angel, you've got your angels, you've got your own personal bodyguards and every kind of thing, and they are there too. So when you are in the occult, you are in good hands. Once you are doing something positive, you are in good hands. And even when somebody tries to harm you or something, there are people there to protect you, so long as you are positive.
So if so are the negative forces of the opposite?
The negative forces are there. You can't prevent them from. See, your house, no matter the alarms and everything you put over there, when the burglar wants to come in, he will come. Yeah? So they are there. But you are protected in a certain way. You are protected in a certain way. Unless the person targets you with a gun and, wants you. Then, when we come to ceremonial magic, we've got something psychic self-defense. You do, and you are 6 feet here and 6 feet from there. And you do, in your sphere like this, you are protected. Anything can come and land here, and land here, and land here. It won't touch you. And something you do, the whole thing is a course you do. And you impregnate yourself with your chakra. You get your chakra exercises, which gives you a very big scope, that kind of thing. There are so many, you don't get it one day. We are all born with it in a certain way, but as you make practices, breathing exercise, meditation, visualization, and other things, every time you do, you grow up, you expand and you get your power. There's no barometer, but you will know. A few times when we get somewhere, there was something like a gunfire in my kitchen, and I knew somebody was dead in Ghana. That person tried his last best, but I've got electricity, I've got a wire around my house. You see? And so when you get to a certain stage, you never walk. When Liverpool says they never walk alone, they know what they're talking about.
Yes. Can you explain about the quality for? I was reading a book about the quality for.
Kabbalah. That's the Kabbalah. We'll come to the Kabbalah.
Okay.
The Kabbalah is a very monumental one on its own. But why are people of African descent and Caribbeans, Africans, we always want to go to the Kabbalah, and we don't want to go to a natural African religion.
Yeah.
See, I can get water like this, like he did. He said, this man who took my 5 pounds, if he doesn't bring it tomorrow, and believe me,
Yeah, definitely.
Tomorrow something will happen.
Yeah.
And I'm going back to my grassroots. What I'm saying is coming from the bottom of my heart. And I'm connecting to my ancestors. That makes me me. You say, you talk, God, please. If I call him God, I don't call him properly. I call him Chura Ponyema Sasuro, Yadi Katamanto. He's a God of 72 names in my language. And he's got so many servants and that kind of thing. I call all of them, come and help me and do something. And believe me, he has never let me down yet. And so that is what we have to find our grassroots and then utilize it, use it for our own good. We're not competing with anybody. See, the Asians, the reason why the Asians are ahead of us is because the British knew that their religion and culture were superior and better than theirs. They only exploited them economically. If the Asian opens the shop If he hasn't burnt incense and given food to the god, you won't go in.
Yeah. Yeah.
They worship their gods. It's no joke. Yes.
You know, because I'm from the Caribbean, and is it true that most of the people from the Caribbean are from Africa? Would you say is the population of the Caribbean or the West Indies Africans?
Yes. There were people there before.
There was
There were the Arawak Indians there before. But the Arawak Indians died. So majority of them there are people of African descent.
Right. So it's now the only reason I'm asking is because you talk about grassroots. So that means what about the ones in the Caribbean who don't know where exactly from Africa they come from? How can they?
There's one thing. I have this problem with Caribbeans all the time. You decide where in Africa, Verwood or any white South African can call himself African. He's white, but he says he's an African. Are you going to argue with that?
Yes.
There are some people that they are people born here, like me, who say they are British, they are English. Are you going to argue with that? You choose what you want to be and believe in it and build on it. You see, and it is your belief in it and the fanatical impetus you put in it. You create. You are a little God. You can create. You are creating you. That's the whole thing about. You are creating you. And when you hold a glass and you call your ancestors, you don't call them from the Caribbean. You are calling them straight from Father Abraham and Adam. Those are your ancestors. Those who built the pyramids. Those are the people. When we call ancestors, we don't call our grandfathers. The people make mistakes. We are calling from, we call it Obuadie, from creation.
Beginnings.
And when we call it from creation, Solomon was one of us. King David, the mother was black. And we are calling them, wherever they are, that we need them now, they should do something. And believe me, when you call them well, and you need them well, they never let you down. For me in particular, I was joking. We went to a party, and that girl was the prettiest girl over there. And I told my friends, if I don't speak to this girl today, I won't sleep today. I said, Joe, watch it. And I went outside. I went outside. I said, this time. And I went. That's it. She was laughing. I didn't say one word. But they've opened the door already. He said, boy, you can walk in. It's the faith you have in you and believe. Rastafarians and everything. Said, you believe in whatever you believe, but you believe in it so strongly that you make it your own. See, I was looking at this thing. That board over there, that's the ankh. Anybody see the ankh? I've got mine. I've got mine over here. Every black person should have one. And we call it a bedraba. A bedraba. Now, that's the ankh made into a wood. There was, I think about 10-15 years ago, a lady brought one from Africa and he gave it to a white girl who wanted a child. Just joking, and said, put it on your chest and wish it and you'll get what you want. She got pregnant. She told another friend. It was in the Sun, front page, about 5-6 years ago. And it was the ankh. The same ankh, I saw it there. And they said, they draw it on the front of the page. So believe it or not, it has made 10-12 women pregnant. That's the ankh. We get it and hold it. Talisman. What is talisman? It's an object. You take an object and you impute your God-given power into the object to do something.
The ring.
That's all. There's no mystery about it. if you haven't got the belief, you haven't got the object, it won't work. If anybody wants to know the British or Europeans, they practice voodoo or juju more than we do.
Yeah, right, yeah.
When they say trooping the color, when they say trooping the color, one man holds the flag and two people around the baptism. We do it every day in my village. We do it every year in my village, trooping the color. And when they are doing this, what do you call this, Remembrance Day, I always watch. When they are doing this Remembrance Day, watch the soldiers and everything. There will be some people who are walking around about. They are the medicine men. They are keeping everything under control. And you see them. And then you see somebody standing up like this, cool, and this thing. Oh, watch everything they are doing. Watch. But when we do it, it's bad. But when they do it, it's good. And everywhere you have a king, you have a medicine man. King Arthur, he's got Merlin. Osei Tutu, he had a Confanoche. Everywhere you have a king, you have. And in the order of things, when they are moving in the state over thing, is the Archbishop of Canterbury who walks before the Queen. You know why he walks before the Queen? If there's any bullet, you can hold it like that. That's why he walks in front. And if he comes from the village where I come from, he's got something on his chest. You can't shoot him in the heart. You can shoot anywhere else. And they walk in a certain proximity. It covers the Queen like this. So when he's walking like this, the Queen will walk straight in line. Archbishop for the Queen, that kind of thing. The Confanoche, which is the chief priest, she walks right in front of the Santihine. It's universal. Anywhere you go, the Queen, the King or Queen has got his or her people. Human hierarchy is the same everywhere. But we have lost ours. And the only way we can reclaim it is to sit down and say, this is our God, this is how we're going to worship him, and that's nobody's business. But what they do, they tell us what to do. I've met American and British professors, doctors of theology and that kind of thing, and they talk crass nonsense. One, they don't understand our language. Secondly, they don't know anything about our cosmology. And religion and culture is feelings. How I feel towards this thing. And if you don't understand it, you can't feel it. If you don't speak Yoruba, and you see they're singing in Yoruba, that kind of thing, how are you going to? You think these people are mad. That's all they're going to. That's what. But it's not mad. You can say one word, and your clothes will all come down, and you start naked like the day you were born. And it's using power in this crudest sense. And when we went to a seminar, and we were talking about the lack of religious, this thing, and I said, in Africa, he said, when you mention Africa, you touch my heart. He said, how? He said, you don't know anything about Africa. You go there for 2 weeks, and you come and you become an expert. I said, tell me what you know about Africa. And he said, and as soon as you mention voodoo or juju or that kind of thing, they begin to shake. Those who know. You see, those who don't know. And they said, one man, it was in a book, Juju in My Life. And he was sent to Ghana when they were building Tema Harbor. And the police couldn't control the thieves because the thieves were in league with the police. So he has to get somebody from outside. When he went, he was a Scotland Yard sergeant, broad-chested, nice, This time. 10 years later, he came with 2 walking sticks. And he has to go to Egypt and pay £100 for a talisman to protect him, to stay in Ghana. And he wrote the book, Juju in My Life. I've got a copy. And all the incidents in there, I knew some of the incidents. I knew some of the people. I was born in it. I was born there. My auntie was a chief priestess. Was a voodoo chief priestess. My great uncle, who was a medicine man, he can knock this one and vanish. He can stamp on the ground like this, and it's gone. And when they're going to, well, these days there are no wars, but if there's war, they lead. And when you fire the bullet, with this one, we don't wear this one, this at all. But we have special one, call it Dama. And when you fire the bullets, will just fall down. You know,
Yeah, I've seen
the bullets, you will pick the bullets on the ground. That's power. That's what we talk about, power. And I went to a seminar, and it was on something to do with the Kabbalah this time. And one Englishman came and said, what do you want here? All the power is in Africa. I said, this man is telling me something. And right now, the most powerful man in the world is in South Africa. When President Diana problem came and they were going this thing, somebody wrote in the News of the World that the brother and church should go and see that man. I've got his book. Mutua. I've got his book. My people and this kind of thing. They shot him, the bullet won't go. They stabbed him, the knife broke. He's still alive. He's about 92, 95. He's still alive. The most powerful man in the world. And we have the power. How we can, we don't even believe it. That's the point. We don't believe we've got the power. We don't believe we have a religion. We don't believe. 1937, when Italy attacked Abyssinia, Wallace Johnson, he come from Sierra Leone. And then Azikwe, I wrote for his paper, I was a journalist then. And they asked, when the Italian troops were going to Ethiopia, the Pope blessed them so that they should go and win and come victory. So Wallace Johnson wrote, has the African a God? And they were persecuted and fined £50. I've never seen that article. The article was written in 1937. I'm putting it on the internet to ask if anybody has got a copy of the article. Has the black man a God? Sometimes I ask. It's not the black man, has the black man a God? When did the black man know that he has a God? That is how the question should be. We don't know we got a God. But when we know we got one, then we should use him. But if we don't know, then we can't use him. Has the black man a God? And you got £50 fine for it. And it shows, some people say they are Muslims, some people say they are this. If there's any group of people who have done harm to Africans apart from the Europeans, it's the Muslims, it's the Arabs. They were slave raiders, they were raiding. And when they talk about slave trade and buying, it hurts me because there was no currency in slavery. No money change hands. Somebody should tell me the amount of what currency they used, whether it was francs or dollars or shillings or pence. They were raiding. They were riding on horses and coming to the distance and raiding. We didn't have even bows and arrows. And so they had superior weapons. And we were peaceful people. We didn't know what it was all about. When we knew what it was all about, so many people have been taken to America. I know where I was born, the whole place was deserted because all the people, they catch them broad-handed. I went to school very near the slave market. And you have a church, they ring the bell and you go in there and let us pray. As soon as you bend down like this, you got the clutch, cuffs on yours and then this thing on your feet. And then they put 2 and 2 together and they lead you through the hole. There's a mile to the harbor. And then there's a moat over there. From there, the ship is called Jehovah. It's called Jesus of Lubeck. And he said, you are going to heaven. And heaven is the solid foundation.
And that's through the church.
Yes.
Yes.
The overseer, he holds the Bible and he's got a whip. You want this or that? We are disadvantaged and we've got everything going for us. If only we can sit down and decide who we are. What are we? Where are we going from here? And any group of people who have no language, who have no religion, have no culture, they've got problems. Yes, sir.
What's the starting point?
The starting point, it's like we have met over here. What do we want in the first place? Progress. To be able to establish what we are. We are Africans or people of African descent. We have a focal point. Our color gives us one good excuse to be what we are. Because without this color, you can say you are West Indian. This one can say it's a South American. This one can say it's an African. But we are people of African descent. Full stop. And we embrace our culture. One culture. It's not Muslims or not. No. One God. All the gods are one God. That's what you say in Kabbalah. Every facet on the tree of life is a God. But there's only one God. That's what we say. And when we embrace something, we make it our own. The Jews have made God their own. They think they are God's chosen people. They said it. Nobody said it. We have to choose our God and make it our own. We have to establish. And then other people will respect us for it. But now, we are holding somebody's God. And, and sometimes they say, it's not yours. No. We have to. Now we make what we want to do. We sit down and decide something. People in the Golden Dawn, they met and they said they were going to distribute knowledge to the whole world. We are going to distribute it not to the whole world, to our people. To our people, when we meet, we know what we want. We generate the power to help ourselves. I see black businesses, black organizations, and they think, if you haven't got power to back what you are doing, you are wasting your time. The Indians have got it. When we got power, we will be able to arrange things, and we go to the bank and we want this done, and the bank manager he will sign before he thinks. Because he has been softened already, moving down already, and wait this thing. No, this is practical. See, that's what power is for. The Indians have got it. Every group of people in this country, we are the only people who haven't got it. You go there and they said, oh, go and come tomorrow. Go and come. That kind of thing. No. But we have to do it. When it comes to book knowledge, we went to Nigeria. Nigeria independence, we went. The prostitute in the Nigerian hotel where we were put, he was BA LLB, Horn's degree, and was a prostitute and was making more money as a prostitute than practicing at the bar. If you go to Nigeria, every third person on the street is BA, BSc. Do I right?
Yeah.
Everybody walking the street of Nigeria has got a degree. If education is anything to go by, we've got it. And then, what are we doing? Here, I know people who have got MA, MSc, they are parking cases. They're working in off-light, pubs, they parking bottles and cases. Education happened, but the time it took him to do the MA and MSc, if you had been studying the tarot cards, honestly, if you have been studying the tarot cards, see, anybody who thinks it's a joke, this card, like this one, you have a candle and an incense, and you look at this card, the same card, do it one particular day every particular time for 7 days. And on the 7th day, this card will open like this, and this woman will come and talk to you. Simple as that. That's all magic is about. Your mind, the color is going to go and work in your mind, and this kind of thing. And if you open and talk to you, well, they've given us, it was a secret nobody should know. Now you know. Whether you're going to use it or not use it, get a pack of cards, play with it. That's all. Get a pack of cards and play with it. And you will see, I'll be around.
You might come out the cards.
And funny, yes.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
What's the difference between 3 o'clock in the morning and any other time?
I'll tell you. The esoterics, they work in the morning, they work in the early hours of the morning. From 6 o'clock onwards is hours. And every ritual we have to do, like outdooring or anything, you do it before 6 o'clock. If you do it after 6, it will, not that it won't work, but if you want the full impact and power, you do it to suit them. So this outdooring, it has to be done before 6 o'clock. It starts from 4 o'clock. By 6 o'clock is finished. Even circumcision, when it's going to do the circumcision, they do it before 6 o'clock.
That's right.
Yeah.
But 3 o'clock in the morning, there's nothing different about that time.
No, up to 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock
Oh,
in the
up to
morning.
6
Yeah, up to 6 o'clock. Yeah. And you know, when you come to ceremonial magic rituals, there are time. Every 1 hour, there are certain angels who rule at certain times and that sort of thing. We'll come to that when we come to that. This one. If you want to do certain things, there are certain Mars and Jupiter and that kind of thing. They have hours and you must do it in their hour. You get the full impact. Not that it won't work, but that's when they are most powerful.
Powerful, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, what's a warlock?
What?
Warlock.
Warlock.
Warlock, yeah.
When we come to ceremonial magic and magic on the whole, we'll come to that. Today, let's stick to the Golden Dawn. Let's stick to. Anybody has anything about the Golden Dawn?
So the Golden Dawn, yeah, the Masons.
Don't mention the Masons. It has nothing to do with the Masons at all. They are individuals. They come from so many different backgrounds, but they met together. And all what they've learned from various places, they brought it together. And then they exchange it and they try to teach the people. Some were yogis, some came from Rosicrucians, some came from Amok. Some were Roman Catholic priests. There was one particular man who was a Jesuit priest. And because he was dealing with the cats, they sacked him. And he wrote a history of magic and so many other books. When we come to ceremonial magic and rituals, we will mention all those people and their works. But anybody who wants to read, there are certain books we shouldn't touch because they are dangerous. But there's one book you can read. No, I won't mention the book because
We'll have to stay clear of it.
no, I'll tell you what to read. This book is called, the man is called Manly P. Hall, and it's Secret Teachings of All Ages. This man spent 50 years traveling around the world and staying in every country and collecting everything he knew about their religion. And after he's finished, they initiated him. And he was initiated into every esoteric organization in the world. He traveled to Tibet, India, China, everywhere. And his book, Secret Teachings of All Ages, is a monumental book. The first one he wrote, he didn't publish one word of it. And it was sold out. And it was $500. Secret Teachings of All Ages.
Who's the author?
Manly P. Hall. Manly. M-A-N-L-E-Y. Manly P. Hall. And you get this book. I've got this one there. Rose, I'll give you Watson's. Watson's catalog. Watkins.
You can call it Watson if you like.
And Mysteries. There are 2 bookshops in London where they sell all the magic books. Mysteries in Monmouth Street. And Watkins in Cecil Court. If in my life, if I don't go to a bookshop, I don't go to a record shop, I'll be a very rich man. Because every time I go there, I spend money. And, yeah, and we're always learning. We are always learning. There's no end to learning. But the little bit I know, I give to somebody, and somebody gives to somebody. That's why it goes around. We don't sit at a class. We go around and round and round. And that's how this will make progress. And we don't make progress. One man knows it. It's in his pocket. You see? But we don't do that because, one, the person who initiated me is still there. My guru is still there. I can go there today. I can go there. It's there. My friends, we started. We were about 10 or so. They all fell by the wayside. They are there. When they want something, they come to me. Joe, please, can you help me? Yo, Joe, can you do this? Joe, can you do that? But we can all do it. All of you have got psychic development, so after a certain point, you only have to weave it. Weave it. You don't have to make any effort. Weave it. You read the book and you say, oh, that's very easy. That's very easy. And when the time comes, it becomes so easy. And then you find somebody who is going to help you. And then you find something that is going to help you. Because when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And when the time has come, everything seems so easy. And you are lucky. We are here. He's here. I'm here. My guru is there. There are people who can help you. You ring. Somebody rang me 1 o'clock in the morning. He's forgotten the color for this thing. And I said, oh, luckily I'm reading that page. So I'm giving. Anything else? He said, no.
Do you remember Alistair Crowley?
Huh?
Alistair Crowley?
Don't mention him. Don't ever touch any book by that man. If you do, you do yourself some harm.
He's the same like this guy.
Yeah, that's why I didn't mention anybody's name in Golden Dawn. Because as soon as you begin mentioning names, you mention this and that and that. The only person, Malapi Hall, and the secret teachers of all ages, and then Israel Rigadi. Israel Rigadi. He wrote about 15 books on magic, on the Kabbalah. Israel Rigadi. And his books is the most important person in the Golden Dawn. He took upon himself to Rigadi.
Israel Rigadi.
Yeah, Israel Rigadi. He came to this country so many times. I know him personally. He came over here and he goes anywhere around the world popularizing the Golden Dawn. He's got cassettes, he's got videos, talks about everything. And his books are good. You can read his books, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. But there are very mischievous people in the occult world. And people have got a very peculiar sense of humor. They tell you, put this thing, petrol on the paper and put matches in it and run through it. You can laugh, but when you see it in print, it's not funny. And people do it. People do it. And that's where the occult police are there. See, that man's book, I don't even mention his name. That's why, because of him, I didn't mention anybody's name. And then we come to something. It's called Enochian magic. That's the magic of angels. It's the most powerful one. And you don't do it. I haven't done it yet. I'm not ready yet for that. And I've done the witchcraft and magic 20 years ago, and I'm not ready for that yet. Some stupid idiot went and got the book, and he went to the park. By repeating the words, he created and generated power enough to raise him up about 12 feet from the ground, and he crashed. Somebody was living very near, was told to go to the park and pick up something. When he came, this man was lying abreast, saying his prayers, and the book was over there. And he saw the book in Nokia magic. God created the world by word, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Word is a power God used in creating this thing. So when you go somewhere and you say something, this thing, I can say, God Almighty Tetragrammaton, Yod He Vav He. That's a different thing. I'm calling God by his other names. I'm not invoking anything at all. But when you say certain words, Egyptian, Enochian, you are calling something. And when you call him, he will come. Oh yeah, you are calling him, he will come. And believe me, he's not going to kiss you. It's power, power, power. Magic is power. The esoteric is power. And when you are playing with power, you go according to the rules. You can't bend the rules. The rules are rigid. If you are not ready, you can't. That's why it's good to take this what we call a Lisbeth course. That is in magic. It takes you right from the beginning and it explains everything. After you've done all the 15 courses and you finish, then he will give you the Kabbalah. After the Kabbalah, then when you read another book, you can understand. But nobody has ever learned magic from a book. If anybody tells you, tell him he's a liar. Because when we were about 10 or 12, we had the 6 and 7 book of Moses. Did you have it in the West Indies? Anybody in West Africa? You heard it before. The 6 and 7 book of Moses.
Oh yeah. That's popular.
Popular in West Africa. Everybody had it. And then this man, De Lawrence, great book of East Indian magic, occultism and of parts. It's a big book, like thick paper, like it. 35 pounds. And we contribute money and buy it. And we go and stand by the bush. And the servant God call upon you, nothing happens. And we didn't know. We were being protected from ourselves. It was when I came to this country and I saw the book and I saw the seals and that kind of thing, then I knew the fire we played with. And then I knew there was something called occult police that were protecting us. But if you go to the cemetery, you will never see a ghost in the cemetery. You see more ghosts in the hospital than you can see in the hospital. And there are some places I don't go. I tell my friends I don't go to the hospitals because I see things I don't want to see. And I've got a friend, he doesn't go to hospitals because he sees too many of them. But you know, the point, you wash your face. And you said, oh, I'm going to where human beings are. You wash your face and you go. But please don't take any book and take anybody's word for it. If there's anybody who's interested in the occult, this thing, take a course. I will leave the address with Rose. They are there. And if you want, it's magic, witchcraft, and the Kabbalah. 3. They'll take you through the course. It's nothing extraordinary. You read it, they'll tell you what to do, and from the moment you get a course, you are lighted, you are illuminated. Somebody is following you. You never walk alone. If you live on your own, sometimes you feel a presence in the room. There's somebody there. You feel it. We take good care of our people. There's somebody, I lent him a book, and I told him if he's not going to use that book, he should bring it. He puts the book very near his table. When he woke up, the book was on the shelf. And he said, I made sure that I put it over here. I said, you are not reading the book. So Peter put it back where it belongs. You know, they think it's some kind of joke. But believe me, if you want to start, you decide the day, you get all the things you want. You get the course, and they'll tell you when to start. You read the first course through. You read it, they'll tell you things to do. First, they explain words and that kind of thing. And then you decide, from Monday or so, I'm going to start. From Monday, you feel you're a new man. That's the initiation. From that Monday, you decided you're going to start. That's the beginning of your initiation. And initiation is being led into something. And from then on, you're a different person altogether. You get all the blessings. Yes, sir.
No, sorry, I just wanted to ask one question. Why are you only recommending we do the course with Elizabeth? Isn't there anyone else offering the course?
She's the only one I know.
Oh, she's the only one.
Yeah. The Servants of Light, they are in the Isle of Man. She is in Ealing Broadway. If you write to her and tell her you'll be coming there, what will she be free or so? She will tell you when to come. Otherwise, you go to Isle of Man. And even you have to go to Elizabeth. He will tell you, go to Joe. He will tell you to come and see me.
Can you tell us a bit about her? She's a lady. How old is she?
She's about 82.
She's 82.
Yeah, she was born in the West Indies.
Oh, she's a
yeah. Her grandmother was a witch, and he's a witch. And then he qualified in the magic and the Kabbalah. And he's been practicing ever since. And he's known everybody in the Golden Dawn until they all passed away. And he's practicing this thing, and he works for the government.
Pardon? Say again?
I won't say it again.
Yes. In my community, I'm from Jamaica, yeah? In my community, you saw some people called the green swords. And all of them were witches.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know them, but I know their grandchildren, yeah? And, well, when I grew up, I learned that witchcraft is wrong. You know, I didn't know about Kabbalah or occultism. You know, they say when you're a cult, you don't believe in God.
No. The
first time I came here, that's what the slave master did.
Yeah, that's miseducation.
That is good for you is bad for you.
Yeah, but now.
Yeah, no, you know.
Now you know that you are going to open up what is within you. And every time when I do like this, I'm calling God.
Yeah.
First, he's the first person you call. My grand aunt, who's a voodoo priestess, you call him Asasura. He called God Almighty, maker of heaven and earth. You are the power. We come to you before anybody else. Before you pour this thing to the ground. So, when they say, there are witches, there are people who worship the devil, we're not talking about them. We are talking about we and our progress. We are here. We want to go here. We don't want to go down there. But, you know, so many has been written about witches and that kind of thing. When you do the course and you see that you become a witch and you are not, you won't go on a broomstick, you will take the bus.
But not pay.
Well, you will pay. It's a matter. Anybody who is interested, if you are interested, it's good to do it the right way. You see? It's good to do it the right way. And believe me, my door will be open for anybody who wants some sort of enlightenment or what you call it, illumination. But when you have the course, you won't need me when you have the course. Because it's so simple and ordinary.
Very reasonably priced as well.
It's 15 pounds. When I did it 20 years ago, it was 5 pounds. But it was then 10. I think it was 8 lessons. It's now got 15. So it's very elaborate.
£15 per lesson?
Huh?
£15 per lesson?
No, it's 15 pounds per course.
Per course?
Yeah.
How long does the course last?
Huh?
How long does the course last?
I think there are about, one is 12 or 15. I think it's 15 lessons.
And you do all the lessons with her, or she sends them to you?
She sends them to you, and then you do it, and there are questions. If you do, you know your progress.
Yes.
You know, how to make an altar, and everything is there. It's practical course. She's practicing, so it's not some old something or this thing, but she's there. She taught me, and I've taught some other people. But I'd like you to go to the boss, and then the boss will tell you, come to me. Then say, come to me. No, that's how we work. You go to her, and she'll say, oh, if you want any help, go to Joe. Hallelujah, I will do that. But get the course first. That is better than going to buy that man's book. And his books are very expensive too. They are hard books and very expensive. And you know, even if you want to read them for curiosity, still dangerous. Stick to Manly P. Hall and Israel Regarding. These two people. Their books are very, very, very good. And if you haven't got it, go to the library and reserve it. They will buy it, and then you read it. But you see, in occult and this thing, these books are books you should own. You see, your own. You shouldn't borrow it. You should own it, and then there are places you can mark and that sort of thing. So make it yours. And so, anyway, my time is up.
Time is up.
Any question? Israel Regarding and Manly P. Hall.
How about Watkins, the bookshop?
Yeah, well, I've got their catalog, and they've got a lot of reviews in it. Yeah.
Brothers and sisters, before you leave, because it's a £5 donation for the gathering, so on your way out, could you please make sure that you donate your gathering money? £5 only.
Is it African knowledge?
And just to also notify you that the next gathering will be on the 2nd of July.
Yes.
Welcome to come, bring a friend, family.
The Kabbalah is universal. It's everywhere. Everybody has got a Kabbalah. It's universal. It's a way of going back to God. That's all there is to do. But there are so many things you do to prepare you to go. It's like you're going to church. You don't just walk in there. You're going to see the boss. You have to get your tithe and that sort of thing. That's all there is to do. And it's been going on for so long. We have certain rules and that sort of thing. Every country has got its own. We lost ours. That's why we follow these people. But Guru is a son of Kabbalah. Nigeria, we got it in Africa. Every group of people have got their own. But we lost it. That's why we follow other people until we get back to the road. Anything else? Are you interested in the Kabbalah? Are you interested in the Kabbalah?
There's no point leaving, innit? There's no point leaving.
Try and get the course. If you still get the course, it will be easier. The books are not all that.
The next one is in 2nd of June.
For everybody, but the course is very elementary, simple. And if you get stuck, you can always get me. If you see Rose knows my house. You look back from that, man. So, I'll give you all the help I can. Oh, yeah.
Did you say 15 pounds?
Yeah, per course, yeah. There are 3 courses. You don't have to do all 3, but you need to do the magic one. The magic one is the basic one. It seems like all the first 3 lessons are almost identical, but do the magic first. Gives you a very good grounding.
And you said there are certain things you mustn't mess with.
I don't want to mention his name.
Not authors. I mean, if you know you got a certain, like say for example, you can see in the future, and you can tell by asking certain questions, you can tell that something's going to happen, and you play with it.
by intuition and visualization and dreams. When you are going to awaken your consciousness, so you're going to see things anew, and you will know the progress you are making. You yourself will know.
Right.
You begin to see things.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying, you know the pendulum?
Yeah. Oh, forget that. The pendulum, you want to use your natural God-given power. The pendulum is an object you are using. You don't want to use any pendulum or any kind of... You are a little God. And you are going to use the power within you. So it's your faith, belief,